Hey everyone, and welcome to tonight's Explainer. I am so pumped to be your guide as we unpack some of the most critical, explosive, and, let's be real, absolutely fascinating tech stories dropping all over the globe right now. Tonight, we're looking at the crazy landscape of June 18th, 2026. We're talking about a massive collision of security nightmares, macroeconomic forces, and some genuinely exciting industry shakeups. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's just jump right in.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll be hitting number 1, the 40 bleed crisis. Then number 2, crypto market tumults. Number 3, the $1.8 billion Ponzi. Number 4, Rockstar's free upgrade. Number 5, cultural combat in SF6. And wrapping up with number 6, ChatGPT for science.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the 40 bleed crisis, the largest enterprise firewall breach in history. Let's dive right into this. Now, this is an absolute earthquake in the cybersecurity world. Just think about the sheer terrifying scale of this number, 73,932. That's the exact number of unique Fortinet FortiGate firewalls that are currently compromised. Attackers have actually managed to harvest verified, working, plain text credentials across 194 different countries. To put that in perspective, that's roughly half of all internet-accessible FortiGate devices worldwide. We're talking Fortune 500 companies, government agencies, critical infrastructure, the whole shebang. When the castle walls are compromised because someone literally has the keys, well, it stops being a simple data breach and instantly becomes a full-blown global security crisis. So if you're an IT administrator tuning in right now, you need to execute these remediation steps immediately. This isn't theoretical. It's an active, ongoing threat. You absolutely must rotate all your administrative and VPN passwords right this second. Go for 20-plus character randomized passphrases. Next, enable multi-factor authentication across the board, no exceptions. Get your firmware patched up to the latest FortiOS security updates. And then, this is absolutely crucial, dig deep into your logs for the past 90 days to hunt down any unauthorized access. The really uncomfortable truth that FortiBleed exposes is that your perimeter, well, it's really only as strong as your weakest admin password.
Okay, let's pivot for a second from cyber threats over to financial turbulence. Earlier today, equity markets were rallying hard thanks to the geopolitical de-escalation of the Iran peace deal. But crypto? Yeah, crypto totally tanked, which begs a super fascinating question. Why couldn't Bitcoin, the asset everyone calls digital gold, catch that exact same geopolitical tailwind?
Moving on to Section 2, crypto market tumults. Hawkish Fed triggers broad sell-off.
Well, the answer to that question lies entirely in monetary policy. Today, geopolitics really just took a back seat to the Federal Reserve. The new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh, made his big debut at the Federal Open Market Committee meeting, and his intensely hawkish message pretty much derailed the crypto markets completely. Warsh bluntly stated that the Fed is committed to delivering price stability, and he offered zero dovish hedges. None. He made it crystal clear that fighting inflation is their absolute paramount mandate right now, basically saying their tolerance for above-target inflation has completely expired. This hardline stance killed off any market expectations for 2026 rate cuts, and the result? Capital just immediately flooded out of zero-yield, speculative assets like Bitcoin, pushing it dangerously below its critical 200-week moving average. And the post-FOMC drops brilliantly illustrate this multi-asset carnage. Bitcoin dropped 2.2%, Ethereum suffered even steeper losses, down 3.6%, and Layer 1 platforms like Solana dropped 3.1%. Even proxy stocks like MicroStrategy amplified the sell-off, tumbling over 4%. It's just a stark reminder that, at least right now, crypto remains a highly liquidity-sensitive asset class. It's way more correlated with Fed policy than it is with global peace treaties. Next up is Section 3, the $1.8 billion Ponzi, Hyperfund's devastating collapse. Let's move into another, honestly much darker corner of the crypto space, the fraud sector. In one of the absolute largest prosecutions we've seen in a while, Rodney Burton, who most people know online as Bitcoin Rodney, just pleaded guilty for his role in the massive $1.8 billion hyperfund scam. Understanding the anatomy of this fraud is absolutely crucial. Step 1. They lured victims in with mathematically impossible promises, offering 0.5 to 1% daily passive returns. Step 2, they backed that up with a totally fabricated story about sophisticated crypto mining operations that literally didn't exist. Step 3, they layered in a multi-level marketing structure to reward participants for recruiting other people. And finally, Step 4, when the new money inevitably slowed down, they restricted withdrawals and the entire $1.8 billion house of cards collapsed, leaving thousands of people totally devastated. So, what are the undeniable red flags you need to be watching out for? Guaranteed high returns, a heavy reliance on referrals, a lack of verifiable transparency, and high pressure tactics. But I want you to really notice that last point: influencer endorsements. Bitcoin Rodney personally pocketed almost $8 million just promoting this thing. His guilty plea is a massive flashing signal that agencies like the DOJ and the SEC are no longer just going after the folks operating the schemes, they are aggressively targeting the influencers who facilitate the fraud. The era of influencers promoting scams with total impunity, yeah, that's officially over.
Now, while some sectors are out there suffering from systemic failures and market crashes, it's super fascinating to see how massive legacy platforms are adapting to stay relevant and even thrive in this exact same environment. So, how do they do it? Let's take a look at a really brilliant business strategy. Here we are at Section 4, Rockstar's free upgrade, preparing for the GTA 6 era.
Right ahead of their massive July Court Center heist update, Rockstar Games just announced a huge policy reversal regarding Grand Theft Auto V. Back in 2022, you might remember Rockstar charged $10 to upgrade from the PS4 to the PS5 version, and honestly, it created a lot of player friction. But now, in 2026, they are making it 100% free. So why the sudden about-face? Well, it's actually incredibly savvy economics. See, there are still roughly 2 million active GTA Online players hanging out on older PS4 hardware. Rockstar wants them on next-gen hardware right now because PS5 players have a higher average revenue per user. But simply, they spend way more on microtransactions. Plus, moving them over lowers the overhead of supporting legacy platforms. And, most crucially, it unifies the player base to pave the exact runway they need for the highly anticipated launch of GTA 6. Moving right along to Section 5, Cultural Combat in SF6. Yasmin brings Eskrima to the world stage. Speaking of the gaming industry evolving, Capcom just unveiled some highly anticipated gameplay footage for Yasmin. She's the new DLC fighter dropping this August for Street Fighter VI Year 4. Yasmin hails from the Philippines, and she fights using Eskrima. Now, if you don't know, this is the national martial art of the Philippines with literally centuries of history behind it, and she wields this really cool crescent-shaped karambit knife. This matters deeply because it's a massive win for authentic cultural representation in the global fighting game community. It moves us way past surface-level tokenism and into a respectful, thoroughly researched integration of a nation's martial art into top-tier competitive gameplay. Yasmin's high-speed rushdown tactics, oh, they are going to be absolutely thrilling to watch in tournaments for sure. In our final topic, Section 6, ChatGPT for Science, OpenAI's vertical monetization push.
Let's step right up to the absolute bleeding edge of artificial intelligence. Leaked screenshots have just revealed that OpenAI is testing a brand new, specialized subscription tier explicitly built for researchers and academics. They're tentatively calling it ChatGPT for Science. So the crucial point here is how this completely changes the AI business model. We're looking at highly specialized features, access to the new GPT Rosalind model, direct integration with massive academic databases, native latex and chemistry formula support, and a user experience entirely optimized for researchers. OpenAI knows full well that institutions have absolutely massive budgets for AI tooling. By pivoting to these vertical B2B solutions, they aren't just charging $20 a month anymore. No way! They're likely looking at monetizing this at $500 to maybe even $2,000 a month per user. It's a massive margin expansion that basically mimics the playbooks of enterprise giants like Salesforce and Microsoft.
So, looking at all these diverse stories together, a really clear narrative starts to emerge. Whether you're an IT administrator desperately trying to patch your firewalls against 40 bleed, an investor trying to navigate the Fed's impact on crypto, or just a gamer watching Rockstar brilliantly unify its player base, you're witnessing the exact same phenomenon. Mastering these platform transitions and understanding how these complex systems evolve or, completely fail is absolutely essential to navigating our modern world. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of our journey for tonight. We've seen firsthand how quickly a simple firewall can become a terrifying global liability, and how amazingly fast AI can evolve to accelerate scientific discovery. It leaves us with one final vital question to think about. As technology continues to accelerate both our biggest threats and our greatest innovations, are you prepared for what drops tomorrow? Stay vigilant, keep looking forward, and I will see you in the next explainer.